Hello and welcome to this presentation on the AI for agency space in 2025. For context, my name is David Tainch. I've been working in the agency space for over 20 years. I've set up everything from performance-based marketing agencies, social media. I've massively worked within the affiliate space. And I've been doing AI probably nearly 2 years or so now, doing everything from chatbots, knowledge-based development, etc. And basically, this is my view on where AI has been and where it's going. If this is something that interests you, if you check in the description, there is a link to a huge resource and a course that I do, which is all free. You just sign up for it. There's further videos in there showing you how I get clients, etc., how I develop chatbots and stuff like that. And if you just go in, it's in the comments. You can just sign up and you'll get access straight away. So let's go through and I want to show you what this is basically what I'm going to talk about in this presentation. I want to talk about the history of how AI has been deployed by companies so far. I then want to go quite in depth as to what problems has this caused. Okay, so I'm going to talk about how successful AI has been, and I'm going to talk to you about the massive problems that have come along with AI deployments. I'm then going to look at solutions. And I'm going to look at what AI solutions have been successfully deployed and how they are developing. Okay, we're then going to look at AI services, and I'm going to talk about what new AI services are going to be brought in. So basically, this is where you really need to focus your agency on this. This is the growth area, okay? And then I'm going to look at tell you about who is buying. So let's just have a quick little look at the development of AI. What I think that most companies really came into contact with AI when ChatGPT came about. They started, going on there and starting having a look at the opportunities that would bring. So you then had, people started creating content using ChatGPT, using it to brainstorm ideas, etc. Then a very small percentage, it wasn't a very large take up, and this is what you can work on as an agency, started deploying chatbots, especially for customer support and sales. You then had some very, very basic AI automations for onboarding, etc. And you had AI content marketing. All of these were done, in my opinion, quite badly. And that's going to be one of the big opportunities for you. But these are the two things that I think that you should really take from how AI has been deployed so far. It's actually had a very low take up. If you actually look at AI as a percentage of the whole market, which companies have actually invested and deployed in AI, it's actually very small. And if you then look, AI has been very badly deployed. And I can tell you this as an actual percentage. 85% of all people who deployed chatbots got rid of them. So it hasn't been a very big success. So let's have a look at the AI deployment problems and why there's been problems. The chatbots have not been effective due to inaccurate knowledge bases to train from. If you go through, and you can go through pretty much any video on YouTube, right? And just type in VoiceFlow, which is a big chatbot platform, and then sit there and say, step-by-step tuition for how to create an AI chatbot. What they will all do is they will use the knowledge base, and they will usually just put get it to harvest in all data off of a website. That is a really bad way of actually creating the knowledge base. It's highly inaccurate because that data that was put on the knowledge base was not designed for an AI chatbot. And that is basically, it's very bad for the AI unit to train from. We then had integration challenges due to lack of software and poor infrastructure. It was very, very difficult to actually integrate chatbots with, or any AI system with back-end software. And we then have the inability to achieve goals because basically they deployed AI for the sake of deploying AI and it achieved nothing. So these are the three areas that are the problem. All of these we can actually overcome now. So this is the big thing, and it is the inaccurate knowledge bases. And you get incomplete or inconsistent information. Missing critical data or inconsistencies in facts lead to incomplete responses. I mean, you must have sat there and talked to a chatbot one day and thought the chatbot's talking complete rubbish. And it's talking complete rubbish because it has not been trained properly and doesn't have consistent data to give you a decent response. You then have outdated content. Knowledge bases with obsolete information result in incorrect answers, and it damages user trust. So say you have a product and the product is now gone, the company's got rid of it. If you have got to remove that from the knowledge base. If you don't remove it from the knowledge base, the chatbot will continue talking about it and will continue trying to sell it. We then get poor data structuring and organization. Lack of categorization or tagging reduces search efficiency. This is where you make money as an agency now. And this is called data labeling. And it's basically where you take data from a company and you then categorize and tag it. Then the AI unit can talk highly effectively and it works. We also get lack of conceptual depth. Knowledge bases that only address surface level information fail to provide detailed context-aware responses. A lack of examples, scenarios, or detailed exceptions lead to unsatisfactory interactions. This is basically where you make the money. You go in and you create knowledge bases that aren't just surface level, that go very deep, because this is where everyone lost. So say you've got a technical support chatbot, you have got to train the technical support chatbot. The technical support chatbot cannot be trained really properly with just just scalping the information off a website. You go and create that and you make it have depth, then the chatbot will work. So let's have a look at integration issues. We get performance and scalability issues. AI integrations can increase the load on existing systems, leading to performance bottlenecks if the infrastructure isn't scalable. We can quite easily overcome this now by having cloud-based systems that are joined using something like Make.com or Zapier. Security and compliance risks. Mismanaged integrations can create vulnerabilities for data breaches. Again, we can overcome this by using software like Make, Zapier, NANIO, etc. We've got the complexity in workflow automations. Integrating AI into existing workflows can disrupt established processes if not done carefully. Aligning AI-driven tasks with human workflows requires thoughtful planning and often custom development, which can often be time-consuming and costly. If you typically look before, when you were integrating AI systems, it was a manual integration. You got a developer in who would create some type of code that would integrate one unit, namely the chatbot, with another unit. That can now be overcome, and this is where a big growth opportunity for agencies. So let's have a look at the successful solution deployment, right? If you look at AI chatbots that were successful, that people left up and running, they weren't actually chatbots. They were just clicky bots of which you would have buttons, you click on them and it would solve the problems, right? And that was basically because they kind of switched the knowledge bases off because it was just regurgitating garbage. So, which chatbots were effective? Ones with extensive knowledge bases. So, because an extensive knowledge base that has been data labeled will obviously talk. It's like, look, when you run a company and you go and hire sales staff or you hire support staff, you train them. And you train them so that they can talk the company language, right? And you have got to do the same with a chatbot. So chatbots with extensive knowledge bases, they could talk the company language, etc. Right, and what else was successful? AI workflows, workflow automations using platforms like Zapier, Make.com or NANIO. They became most people who had those kept those because it saved them a lot of work. Okay, so we now know like areas that were successful. Right, so what are the AI services for 2025? Right, this is the big one, and it's database creation using data labeling. You're basically going to go in, you're going to gather, organize relevant data. You are then going to collect information from existing sources like manuals, frequently asked questions, documentation, and customer interactions. And you're going to gather all of this data together, and you're then going to structure the content into categories and subcategories to ensure easy retrieval. This is actually a lot easier than it seems. Whenever I reread this, I just think to myself, man, that sounds heavy. It is essential for training natural language processing, NLP models that power chatbot functionalities like intent recognition and entity extraction. Like I was saying, you have got to train a salesperson. So you've also got to train a technical person, etc. in your chatbot. You train the salesperson, you train the technical chatbot, whatever. Can you see what I mean here? And this is where the money is being made. And because what happens when you start creating these databases, it opens you up so you can sell two types of chatbot, right? You get the external chatbot and you get the internal chatbots. And not a lot of people are talking about the internal chatbots, which is where the big money is being made. And I mean that internal chatbots are all 50K a go. Like, they're a lot bigger. I'll talk about the external chatbots first of all. You've got the sales and lead generation chatbots. The purpose of those is to assist businesses in identifying, qualifying, and nurturing potential customers, but they have got to be trained. So you take all the sales documentation, the product documentation, you categorize it, you label it, you then put it into the knowledge base, bang, it will talk. Customer support chatbots. A customer support chatbot has to be trained, and this is going to provide 24/7 assistance to customers resolving common issues and queries, but they have to know what to say. And then you've got the technical support chatbots, help users troubleshoot and resolve specific technical issues related to products and services. Okay, so these are really the three external ones. Now these are the big areas where you are getting growth. HR and employee support chatbots. These assist employees with HR related inquiries and processes, right? So someone wants to go and book a day off or something like this, or they've got an inquiry. You set up a chatbot that typically runs on a Slack channel. And so the person goes to HR, I need to book this day off, bang. And then it's then just authorized. Do you kind of see what I mean? And they are very easy to sell. We then have the internal knowledge base chatbots. This is where the big money is, because you've got people spread around the globe developing software and stuff like this. Etc. So it's also to IT and technical support chatbots, streamline IT troubleshooting and support for employees, because you now have people spread around the world, right? So you've got someone comes on as a developer and they need to like find something. They're unfamiliar with the source code of the company. You set up a Slack channel and you have categorized all of the company's API documentation, stuff like this. You have put that all into a chatbot, and this is a 50K chatbot, right? Everything is in there, so someone can sit and say, I'm stuck looking at this microservice. I don't know where the code base is, or something like this, or I don't know where this API is, etc. They can then find it straight away, and they don't have to wait for some other developer to go and show them. They can just get it straight away. You can also have other internal knowledge things, anything where you've really got any technical assistance, you've got design, whatever, the chatbot can handle it. We then get training and development chatbots, and these facilitate employee learning and skill development. Again, that's another 50K chatbot. I mean, you basically go in, you go and get all of the company's training documentation, etc., and you put it all in as into the chatbot. And these are four big growth areas. And if you go on YouTube, start having a look around at everyone, what they're saying. No one talks about the internal chatbots, which are the big money makers at the moment. And they're the easiest to sell because no one else is selling them. You get AI workflow automations. These are your basic onboarding workflow automations, onboarding and enhancing employee or customer onboarding processes to reduce time, content personalization and marketing automation workflows, AI systems that tailor content for specific audiences across email, social media, and web platforms. Then you've got sales and lead generation tools, AI driven solutions that qualify leads, analyze customer behavior, and recommend personalized sales strategies. So who is buying, right? This is where we've been selling them. We've got e-commerce and retail using chatbots for customer support, order tracking, etc. Automating inventory management and personalized marketing campaigns, right? You can go and sell these to the smallest customers, like someone just running a Shopify store from home. And what you do is you create a little package for 150. So that'll be like a chatbot, which will do an order retrieval. We'll tell you the date, order status on something. And you could just do that for 150. But then you all have a series of packages. So you say, look, we can handle returns. We can create, there's a list of them, but they'll end up paying about 600. All of these are very quick, it'll probably take you about 2 hours to set these up, and that's 600. And you've then got the bigger ones going up to 10k plus. So you sell these into small solo entrepreneurs or to big companies. Financial services and banking, deploying chatbots for customer queries, fraud detection, loan processing, and account management. There's your top end. Automating compliance checks and transaction monitoring. Budget 2k to, I haven't got a clue what the big banks are, but I wouldn't bother with them. Solo financial advisors will buy these. They're very, very easy to sell to them. You create like a very simple onboarding, lead generation, and qualifying flow for them. And that then just does the compliance checks and transaction. But that's like, your person at home who's a financial advisor who does mortgages, etc. So very easy to sell. You sell those for 2k a go. We then get healthcare and pharmaceutical companies, chatbots for patient scheduling, symptom checking and follow-up remedies, workflow automation for medical billing, lab reports and clinical trials. Right, 2k to 10k plus. The best place to sell these, like stuff like dental practices, healthcare practitioners like dietitians, back specialists. You've got someone who is a back specialist and they want like a really quick little chatbot so someone can type in and it will just qualify them as a customer, then book them in. 2k to 10k. Telecommunications, this is using AI chatbots for technical support, billing inquiries and plan upgrades. Automating network monitoring, customer onboarding process. Right, don't go for your huge telecoms companies. Way too hard to get those deals. There are loads of small independent telecoms companies and the medium-sized ones, right? And you can go and pick those up because there's hundreds of small telecoms companies and you can go and get them and it integrates straight away with most telecoms software. So let's go and have a look. Travel and hospitality, chatbots for booking assistance, itinerary management and customer support, workflow automation for reservation systems, loyalty programs and feedback collection. 2k to 10k, but these are where we've been doing really well selling them. Specialist niche holiday providers like yoga retreats and then small hotels. Also like you get like loads of like skiing and snowboarding, kite surfing, really small, that's usually just a couple of people, niche holidays, and they will buy them. And it basically just does booking assistance, itinerary and customer support. But again, 2k to 10k. Right, these are where you are selling the huge knowledge-based ones. These are software technology companies, AI-driven technical support chatbots for troubleshooting and developer assistance, automating CI/CD pipelines, code reviews and software deployment. You don't really have to do all of that unless you kind of understand it. 5k to 50k. But this is where you're basically taking a lot of their knowledge base and you are then putting the knowledge base into their technical documentation, putting it into a knowledge base so that the AI system can learn off of it. And it's basically any companies with 20 plus developers spread across the world, which is loads of them. Education and e-learning, chatbots for answering student inquiries, providing course recommendations and facilitating onboarding, workflow automation for grading, scheduling, and content distribution, 2K to 10K. We've been selling these to home tutors, personal trainers, course owners, stuff like that. A lot of times you'll get like 3 teachers who kind of do a lot of home tuition on the side, just 3 or 4, less than 5. And it would basically just answer student inquiries, give course recommendations or package recommendations, then book them in for personal training, for one-on-one tuition. Personal trainers, I sold loads of these. This is basically the people running like boot camps down parks, stuff like that. Sells really well. Estate agents, chatbots for lead qualification, property recommendation, and appointment scheduling. Automating document processing, property listings, and transaction management. Anything between 5K and 10K. All independent sales, estate agents, and small chains. Don't go for any of the big chains, really too hard. The small estate agents, easy to do. Logistics and supply chain. AI chatbots for shipment tracking, customer inquiries, and delivery updates. Workflow automation for inventory management, demand forecasting, and route optimization. This is 10K to 100K. And we have been selling these to like your localized courier companies, right? Or anything localized distribution. And it then typically integrates with a bigger company's system. So you get a small company that is doing all the subcontracting for a big company, and they will it basically just pushes it through. Like when it inquire the small, you're basically linking it up. Do you kind of see what I mean? So it makes an inquiry, like someone's there like, oh yeah, where's my package? The big company's actually subcontracted it to a smaller company, and it will send the result back. Media and entertainment, chatbots for content recommendations, subscriptions, and customer support. Automating content curation, social media scheduling, and audience management and analytics. We've sold loads of these into nightclubs and event venues, and then selling direct to artists and management companies. 5K to 10K plus. So this is basically what we've been doing in AI, and this is where I think it's going. I think it's going in this way because this is who we're selling to. If this is something that is of interest to you, click in the link in the description below. There's another course thing that I do for free, and there's loads of stuff showing how we're selling this. So yeah, be really great to help get your agency booming in 2025. Thanks.